Go.
Yes, good afternoon. This is Rabbi Yagad. I'm the rabbi of this synagogue and community here. This is the community of Muncton. This is an Orthodox shul over here. We're building a mikvah, rebuilding actually. Rabbi Rosenberg has given an incredible amount of his time and effort, literally without any pay for anything, to make sure that there'll be a mikvah in the entire Canadian Jewish Maritimes. There is no mikvah, though, that we can confidently send anyone to, no kosher mikvah to go to, and this will be the only one. And this is an incredibly important thing. With lacking this, someone would have to drive literally 12 hours all the way to Montreal or all the way to Boston to find a mikvah, or maybe head off to England if you want to go the other way, because there is nothing else. There's nothing within a day's drive over here, and that's 12 hours each way. So that's an incredible hardship. And a mikvah is a basic for a Jewish community. It's a basic for all the young people who live here, who are moving here. There's young people come here from Russia, from Israel, young Jewish couples, and they need a mikvah. They are begging for it, and that's really what all this is about. A tremendous amount of effort is going on, even though it's already snowing. The project is still going on as it needs to. It will be, God willing, finished soon. And all I have to say is, as the rabbi of the community, I have an incredible amount of thanks for anybody who's helped the mikvah, anyone who will help for this project. I guarantee you that you'll see a bracha in your life, a blessing in your life. This is incredibly important to do so. A mikvah is even more important than a shul. And that's my few words. I want to thank everyone.
Now we're putting on a little lubrication on the wood, because if we don't put it on and the wood is not so flat, it's not so straight, then we won't be able to break it off from the cement when we have to remove it. So this is lubrication that we put on. It can
Can I turn it around? Okay. Yeah. Okay, swing it. Swing it. There we go.
Beginning to end.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to take out the tile that was down there?
Half an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When it's been down for about 20 years, it's pretty easy.
This roof that you see here is an old roof, and it has these old shingles. The old shingles, they have small holes. If you look very close next to them, they have small holes, and they have stones on top of them, so that when the sun bakes on them, it just doesn't deteriorate them, and the stone keeps them fresh. So therefore, it's nasa lekabula. It's made for a purpose. Therefore, if water stays on, or even the water flows through them, in other words, there's a certain layer of water and then the rest of it flows through it, it's all considered she'uvim. It's called going through a vessel. So what we do is we put on a special coat of aluminum paint. It's a silver paint, and it has aluminum inside. And the aluminum, because it has that fiber inside, the fiber makes it very thick. So now if you can look at the roof, you don't see any grooves, you don't see any holes, you don't see anything. You just see a flat roof. And this roof especially is very good because it has a very good thing. It's slanty. Cement box. So it's going in from the top, there's a hole, and then it's continuing here. So you can really, if you really want to, you can make different shapes. You can take 15 times around the building with pipes and not make one bent pipe, not violate the halacha of a silmakov of Kolshu. You just have to be a little mechanically inclined or to see how other people are doing it. Now, if you noticed it, the top one is this mikveh has been built with poor people's will. Rabbi Weissman, Moshe Weissman, is a special rabbi who jumped into this, and he laid out almost $20,000, and he's doing this with Mesiras Nefesh, fully hearted. And I beg everybody in Flatbush, please help him out, because Chazonish once asked a person who came from America, he was very rich, he says, what do you do for a living? He says, well, I have real estate. Chazonish says, no, I mean, what do you do for your soul? He says, I don't do anything. Maybe you can help me to decide what to do. He said, fine, I'll help you. And he said, you should build mikvahs. So he went back to the States, he started to build mikvahs, and he started to collect money for Vadu Arzi. So the Chazon Ish told him, I want you to know, you should never build in big cities mikvahs. So he said, why? On the contrary, in big cities is the place to build because there are more users. He says, no, because big cities will always have a gevir that will be in Manadav. Small cities, out-of-town places, there's nobody really to take care. It's mamish a mess mitzvah. I also want to tell you, I find that in these small towns, when you give tzedukah for a mikveh, there's a lot of big yeshuas. In the big ones, there's also, but in the small ones, there is also a lot of yeshuas. I redid the mikveh in Bangor, Maine a few years ago. I took 2 young people to do the steam, the heating system, because they weren't aware of how to do it. I took them from New York. We traveled like 7-8 hours one way, and we came there. After 2.5 days, we did the mikveh, and every day these young people saw that women came and said, Rabbi, is the mikveh going to be finished tonight? We're waiting for the mikveh, we're waiting for the mikveh. So these 2 young people said, wait a minute, why is it more mitzvah that Rabbi Rosenberg should do this? He should start collecting money, and he should break his head and sit weeks over there until he finishes it, because they only came to finishing the heating system. Why are we not mechuyev just like Rabbi Rosenberg? So on the way back, they said, listen, Rabbi, we really realized that it's a very, very special mikveh. It's out of town. If not for this mikveh, the closest mikveh was 3 hours away, and I don't even know who, how kosher it is, who is the rabbi there. So at the end of the day, they said to me, listen, we don't want a penny from you. On the way back, they said, we are a partner with you in the mitzvah. The only thing is that one of the Yungalites said that he has 2 daughters, 12 and 11. He has no children, no sons. He has no Kaddish. So he would like me to give him a blessing. So I told him, I can't give you a blessing. I'm just a very simple person like you. I can just tell you that in schus of the mikveh that you are making, people should go to the mikveh. You made a mikveh, people should want to go, and that's for Peru Irvu. I can wish you in schus of the mikveh that Hashem Yisborach should help you should have a child, a ben zucher. The man was helped with the ben zucher to 9 months. 9 months and 3 days he had a baby. That was after the contract. We had the contract written that I give him a blessing. And Baruch Hashem, these small towns is a very big mitzvah, much bigger than the big cities, because in the big cities there will always be somebody who would buy the mitzvah. This chuz, whatever you'll need, Hashem Yamalek Kol Mishalas Libchem L'Toiva. Amen. I hope you're holding on tight. We don't want to lose you, my friend.
Oh,
We like you.
There's a nice bed of cows up here. Got my toes curled under.
We made it. Goes in without any glasses. She can notice it where the step stops from the top, and she can also notice it when she's coming out from the mikveh. She can see where the steps stop. So this way she doesn't hurt her foot. We made beveled white tiles, and in middle it's blue. The blue gives a beautiful complexion to the water. If you can look into the water, the cleanliness of the water, you can see a very close look. Now they're still missing a railing. You can see the hole for the railing is right down there, so you shouldn't have to make holes afterwards. And up here, the hole for the railing. It's just not in yet because of time, and somebody has to use it tonight. So I told the woman that she should be very careful when she walks down. She shouldn't hurt herself. Now you noticed it on the bottom percent open, and you can also see this hole. Well, this hole you really don't need. The water comes in from the boireria and it falls down. As you can see, it's not a sil nakufif, it's not a bent pipe. What it really is that it goes into here. I made a hole over here. After you make a hole, you have to clean it off because those 12 inches, then we have a bend. I always make a trough on a bend because then it's koyach shiny already, which is very mehuder. So on the bend, it's mehuder, but up all the way to the roof, and it's a straight pipe, leaned on a L iron bar, 2 inches, hooked onto it, so there's no see there. We have there 2 boxes. One is at the very far end. One is at the very far end. We have a box. Then there's a middle box, because in Muncton in Canada we couldn't find more than 12 feet long pipes. Otherwise, if this would have been like in the States, we could have connected from one end till the other end. So we had to make a box. Every time the box is the connecting point. This is what the box looks like. The pipe comes in on one side and it just continues out on the other side. The cement is the connector. This is derech binyan. It's mounted onto the binyan. So therefore we have no problem with a kli. See, the concept of a kli is that something that betu derech binyan, then it's kosher. So this was cement and it was formed as a kli. Now it goes in from one side, it comes out from the other. I also put under here the steel bar. So in a few years, in the Achronim, the Siddur, Rabbi says that you're not allowed to collect snow because it never had a chance to be toivel itself in it, therefore it's not kosher. Other Achronim are choilik. So there's a Rabbi Kiva that holds you're not supposed to. So I came here with the hose and I started watering down the roof. And I was up there by the last 2 feet. And all of a sudden I didn't realize that the water under me is becoming ice. And I started to skid down from the top, whoa, till here. If it wasn't for this small marker gate that we made to collect the rainwater, I would have flown down right there on top of that sukkah. Can you imagine what would have happened if I would have flown on that sukkah from such a height? Look at the elevation. We're about 45 feet from the floor and about 15 feet from the sukkah. I was flying, but thank God I took both feet and I squeezed them down onto the wall, onto the floor, because I built this so I knew that Be'ezras Hashem, by this, if it's strong enough to hold my pressure, by putting my foot like this, it'll stop me. And boom, did it give a stop. I also kept my hand on the roof and it scraped off my hand. The whole hand was scraped off. I had to run to the drugstore to get bacitracin that I shouldn't get infected. So Burich She'usali Nes B'Mukem Hazeh in Muncton, Canada. This is where I was almost killed. Im Ahavos Hashem Elokayni She'uhavtu Oisi. You spared my life because of I don't have a schus for such a holy thing, but it's only because of the love that Hashem has to me and to all other Jewish people, and this is how I was saved.